美股第一季度的财报显示各大币圈的巨头现在正急着向市场在证明一件事情就是就算我们现在处于这个熊市的周期币价不涨，交易量低迷，手续费减少，他们也能稳定的赚钱。像是这个知名的交易所 Coinbase 和 Robinhood 他们现在都在积极的跨界，在他们的产品中加入了这个预测市场Polymarket， 还有这个代币化的商品，比方说美股代币化还有这个黄金代币化、贵金属的代币化，还有传统的一些金融产品的代币化，现在就是积极的在扩大他们整个的产品的规模和种类。那就连微策略这种过去坚持永不卖出策略的比特币的绝对的多头，现在呢也开始改变了策略开始转向这个灵活管理，该卖还会卖。目标呢只有一个，就是提高每一股所对应的这个比特币的数量，要提高他们的这个股票的价值。那与此同时呢，这个传统的一些金融巨头现在也在加速的布局这个区块链行业比如贝莱德富达还有芝交所等等这些金融界的知名的机构都在做这件事情。那关于这方面的情况呢，我们在以前的视频里面也给大家介绍过。所以呢现在其实趋势特别的明显了，就是加密货币它现在肯定已经不再是自娱自乐的一个亚文化的一个小圈子了它现在正在和这个实体的经济还有这个传统的金融紧密的结合。那区块链呢现在正在加速的重构世界的底层设施。我相信以后就是这个区块链的数量大概率会和现在网站的数量一样多。那我们管理一个区块链呢，就也会和现在管理一个网站一样的简单。以后的币圈我们不能再是谁会吹泡泡谁赢谁会炒作谁赢，就像以前好多年所经历过的那个阶段一样以后呢就是要拼谁的技术更硬谁的业务更加的多元化，谁更能解决实际的问题，谁赢。所以呢，当这个区块链行业真的完成了自身它完成了这场去炒作化的这个自律转型以后呢，我觉得才是区块链真正走向主流的一个开始。
Crypto companies used to have a simple public market pitch. When token prices moved higher, people traded, which made exchanges money. But this earnings cycle exposed the weakness in that model, and crypto companies are trying to make the case that they can continue to make money even in a crypto slump.
We now seeing the crypto becoming something bigger, becoming something which is intertwined with the real economy, which means that people have higher expectations of those companies, so they need to diversify.
Coinbase, Robinhood, Circle, Bullish, and Strategy, and others are still selling investors crypto exposure, but they're also trying to prove that their businesses can work even when crypto trading cools. Earnings show that these companies are highly exposed to the trading cycle. Coinbase reported $1.4 billion in revenue and a $394 million net loss in Q1 of 2026.
Our revenue is inherently non-linear. A significant portion moves in line with crypto asset prices and trading volumes.
Coinbase's answer is to make its trading business less dependent on crypto. The company is adding derivatives, prediction markets, stocks, and other products.
Past year, we've transformed Coinbase from a primarily spot-focused crypto platform into a place where you can now trade any asset class.
I think Brian Armstrong is using this phrase, which I think is spot on, the everything exchange, which is you cannot just trade crypto here. It can be the one-stop shop for your financial life.
Coinbase is framing the next phase as a bigger trading menu. Robinhood and Bullish are making a different argument. If traditional assets move on-chain, meaning the activity happens on a blockchain rather than only inside a company's private database or a traditional financial system, crypto companies can play a role in the systems that issue, trade, and track them.
I want to get away from, talking about the price of Bitcoin or all of the other native crypto assets. Our strategy is to take crypto infrastructure and apply it to assets that have real-world utility. That's why we care so much about tokenization.
Bullish is making the same argument from the institutional side. Bullish defines tokenization as converting ownership of an asset into a transferable record on a blockchain. In securities markets, that could affect how assets are issued, traded, transferred, settled, and recorded, according to the SEC. Bullish is still built around a digital asset exchange, but its biggest Q1 move was signing a $4.2 billion deal to acquire Equinity, a transfer agent that helps companies manage shareholder records. Bullish says the deal would combine traditional issuer services with tokenization infrastructure.
On May 5th, we announced a definitive agreement to acquire Equinity for $4.2 billion, creating a tokenization powerhouse with an end-to-end stack. We are now entering the blockchain era, which offers something fundamentally different. unconstrained, programmable ownership through tokenized assets.
A crypto exchange buying a transfer agent looks less unusual when it's viewed through the tokenization pitch. If stocks, funds, and other assets move on-chain, the companies that manage ownership records, issuer relationships, and settlement rails could become more valuable.
We see the crypto companies try to become more fintech or even traditional finance companies. The other very big traditional financial brands in the US, like the Schwabs, the Fidelities, the ICE, the CMEs, they also go into the other direction, which is on-chain. So we see the two worlds colliding. Who is going to win? Of course, nobody knows.
Circle has a different problem. Its core business may avoid trading volatility, but it can't escape the crypto cycle driving activity for that business. It's the issuer of USDC, the second biggest stablecoin, which is a digital asset designed to track the price of another asset, usually the US dollar. So the more people who use USDC, the bigger Circle's business can get. In Q1, there was $77 billion worth of USDC in circulation. Circle's revenue and reserve income rose 20% to $694 million. But most of its revenue comes from interest on the assets backing USDC. That means the company can grow when more people use USDC, but it's also exposed to falling interest rates. USDC also depends heavily on networks like Ethereum and Solana for settlement and has a revenue-sharing agreement with Coinbase, its key distribution partner, that critics argue is more favorable to Coinbase. Circle's answer is to become more than the issuer of a stablecoin. It's building a blockchain called Arc to become what CEO Jeremy Allaire describes as an operating system for the entire economy.
And I think what Circle is trying to do right now is they want to become not only the coin, but the platform itself. So they introduced Arc. Arc is a blockchain. So they see themselves not only having the instrument, but also the platform where the instrument plays a role.
If infrastructure is the future of crypto, that could have major implications for the industry.
I think, again, many people who are not daily working in crypto do not get it, is this idea of who owns the rails. Why Robinhood launching their own chain? Because they don't want to go and transact on the Coinbase chain. So they have their own chain. And I know that the word blockchain still seems very complex and difficult to manage, but we believe that managing a blockchain will become something like managing a website. Every institution will have a blockchain.
Even companies that look like pure crypto price bets are trying to sell investors a more managed business model. MicroStrategy is the pioneer of the crypto treasury approach so many have tried to copy. Companies in the sector buy and hold crypto on their balance sheets with the sole purpose of giving shareholders exposure to those assets. In Q1, it reported a $14.5 billion operating loss because Bitcoin fell. Its strategy is to raise capital responsibly, still buying and holding Bitcoin over the long term and growing Bitcoin per share, but more actively managing the balance sheet to do so.
We want to increase Bitcoin per share, which will increase the price of the common equity and ultimately be better for our common shareholders. We're not going to sit back and just say, we'll never sell the Bitcoin. We want to be net aggregators of Bitcoin, increasing our total Bitcoin, but more importantly, increasing our Bitcoin per share, because we think that is what is going to be most accretive long-term for MSTR and for the common.
At its core, the trend is about decoupling investor returns from the crypto cycle. The question for investors is whether those new businesses can grow fast enough before the next crypto downturn tests them again.